I recently purchased these plans for a wooden bucket from Fisher's Shop, another YouTube channel I really enjoy. I am especially interested in these jigs, which are crucial to getting the right taper. However, with the cost of lumber so high, I decided to tear down my cedar deck and use the boards for some upcoming do-it-yourself projects. I started off by milling down the lumber over at the planer, and then moving to the table saw to finish off the sides. After the boards were milled, I cut them down to approximate sizes, first at the table saw and then by setting up a stop block on my miter saw. Eventually, I had a stack of about 20 similarly sized staves. And here's where the plans from Fisher's Shop really came in useful. Using the first jig from the plans, I'm able to use one pass on the table saw to cut both the bevel and the taper for each stave on one side. And then, once all 20 staves have received this pass, I'm ready to turn the entire stack and begin using the second jig to perform both the bevel and the taper for the other side. And now for the glue up. I start out by making sure that the outside of each stave is facing up and putting a strip of tape between each seam. Then, once I have every seam taped, I flip the entire thing over to get ready for the glue up. I use a liberal amount of glue on each seam to ensure a tight bond. Then, as carefully as I can, I start to roll up the entire bucket into its final shape. And now, to ensure a tight bond, I add the final strip of tape around the entire bucket. While the bucket dries, I move back out to the garage to begin working on the bottom of the bucket. I'm using my biscuit joiner to join 3 deck boards together for the bottom. After letting the glue cure on the bucket, I'm ready to move it to the router table to begin cutting a channel for the bottom to fit into. With the channel looking good and cut to the same depth as my board thickness, I'm ready to take the board over to the table saw and begin cutting it out for its final shape. Then, over at the belt sander, sand it down until it has a nice, snug fit in the bottom of the bucket. And now, using dust collected from the belt sander mixed with glue, I use a wood putty to fill in the gaps on the bottom. Once dry, I sand off the excess and then give the entire bucket a good sanding to ensure that there's no sharp corners or burrs. And the last step is to apply a liberal amount of boiled linseed oil over the entire thing to give it a nice sheen. And here's the final product. Thanks for watching.